Inspired Minds YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to talk about some of the things I wish I learned in my 20s. I'm 29 years old, but if I could go back and change a lot of things, or not necessarily change a lot of things, just change some of the things that I was doing in my 20s, I would be so much further along right now. That's literally the only thing that I want to share. So, the things that I wish I would have changed in my 20s, the most important and the number one thing for me, friends. Okay? I was so driven on the group of friends that I was around. Now, granted, I met these friends through an experience of playing sports. Most of the friends I had was through sports. But the things that I also understood, or the things that I didn't understand, I'm gonna start off with that. The things I didn't understand was when you're getting to a certain level or status, doing something that you love, you just naturally just go through the motions, you just naturally do those things. And what happens is other people will begin to place themselves around you and call themselves a friend. They'll call themselves somebody that's a support. They'll call themselves all these different things just to latch on to you. And if you're not aware, if you don't know who you are as a person, you're going to lose yourself. You're going to get lost in all this stuff that comes with it, all these facades that come with it. Okay? So, things I wish I would have learned in my 20s. The right support system, the right group of friends. 2, knowing yourself. In order to make it in anything in life, you have to know who you are as a person. You got to know where you're going. You got to know what type of people you want to be around. You literally got to know any and everything in life so you can succeed, okay? That's the one thing that I learned. You have to know who you are as a person. Learn your likes, your dislikes. Learn what you won't tolerate, what you will tolerate. Learn what you will accept and won't accept, okay? And as you grow, you can adapt. You can make some changes to the things that you're learning for yourself. But these things that help you get so far ahead. Another thing that I wish I would have learned in my 20s. And everybody say they about this, but this right here. This right here. Now, 2 things that come with this right here. All right? You got to learn how to go get you some money. That's just what it is. What I wish I would have learned in my 20s, you got to learn how to go get you some money, okay? That's the number one thing. Learn how to go get you some money. Ain't nobody funding your lifestyle out here. Ain't nobody going to go help you go get it, any of that. Learn to go get you some money, okay? Whatever it is, whatever you're doing, by all means, do your thing. But just make sure it's about this green. Go get you some bread. Go get you some money. Your mood, your attitude, everything changes when you're moving in the right direction. Your mood, your attitude, everything changes when you're having you some money. When you're doing the right things in your life. Go get you some money. But that's literally all I can say. That's all I can tell you. Go get you some paper. Go get you some money. That's literally all I can say to you. Go get you some bread. Bread. Go get you some bread. Get you some money. The people who tell you it don't matter are the ones who don't know how to go get it. And you got to understand, everybody got their own hustle. You got to have a hustle about yourself. Make more money faster than time, if that makes sense. Wherever you work at, whatever you're doing, go hustle up some bread. Go hustle some money up. Okay, if your bills are due on the second week of every month, you got 14 days before that due date. Stack you as much bread as possible up until that date. Okay? Now what happens once you get the bread? What do a lot of people like to go do? Literally, there's 3 things everybody like to go do. Entertainment. What's your form of entertainment? Entertainment. Are you going to go spend your bread on entertainment 24/7? Are you going to go spend your bread on entertainment? What's a form of entertainment? Movies, parties, clubs, bars, events, social events, basketball games, football games, baseball games, um, just really anything that can occupy your time for entertainment. All right. Next, food. Learn how to budget and sit still. Get you some groceries. Get you some groceries. You ain't got to spend your bread every single time. You ain't got to spend your bread every single time. If you do spend your bread to go out to eat or something, it don't have to be, yo, the amount of money I've seen people spend out here on food is crazy. Ain't nothing wrong with a little $10, $15 plate of food. But you gotta also understand that $40, $50, you could have got groceries. That $100, $200 that you spent on food at these restaurants, you could have went and got some groceries that have covered you for 2-3 weeks. But then go back, fast forward, you wondering why you ain't got no bread. You wondering why you ain't got no paper. You wondering why you don't have this and that. You gotta learn how to budget. You gotta learn how to sit still. You gotta learn how to go through these pockets. You gotta learn how to go through these moments when you ain't having nothing. Because it's gonna teach you how to save. You're gonna start appreciating every single thing you get. You're gonna start appreciating every single little dollar. It's like $20 in my hand. You're gonna start learning how to appreciate this, okay? Another thing. All right, you done worked your hustle up. You done got your bread to a certain level because you know bills is coming. Don't touch none of your bread until you pay your bills. I'll say that again. Don't touch any of your bread until you paid your expenses. What's an expense in your life? Phone bill, rent if you got an apartment or a house, mortgage, whatever the case may be. All right, you got a car, car insurance, car payments, these different things. Now, add up every single thing in your life. That's an expense. I'm gonna show you how to hack the system a little bit. Add up every single thing in your life. That's an expense. Now, you have to learn how to adjust your wants versus needs. A lot of people in their lives believe that the things that they're doing in their life is a necessity. And I'm gonna tell you, I used to think the same thing. A lot of things I was having in my life, I need this. This is a part of my life. I need this. You don't. And this is why I say once you start adjusting like the different things in your life, once you start adjusting the way you move, you're gonna lose some people around you because you're not necessarily living up to this standard that they want. You're not living up to this standard or this lifestyle that they appease to. But you gotta understand, a lot of the times what I learned out here from just being out and about, the more and more people try to look like it every single day, you already know where I'm going with that. The more and more you try to look like it every single day, it's like you putting on a facade. But there is a thin line between it. You got to put on this facade. You got to put on this image a little bit because this is what people are drawn to now. People are drawn to the picture, the image. But you got to make sure you're doing the work behind the scenes. Make sure you're doing the work behind the scenes. Fix those expenses. I'll give you an example for me. I got a side hustle. My side hustle is this YouTube thing. I love shooting YouTube videos. You basically get on here and talk about any and everything. But it's like educational. I give education, okay? Side hustle. I work a job. Find the job that fits you. I work a job that pays me every day, as opposed to me working for every 2-week check. I used to work for a check that came every 2 weeks, and it was terrible. It was terrible. Terrible. Horrible. Then I found out how to find jobs that paid me every week. Now, I'm working a job where as soon as I clock out, money in my hand, okay? Now, it's easy to do something with $100 to $200 every day, as opposed to getting that same check at the end of every week. Because what happens is, things happen in between Monday and Sunday. And if you ain't got no resources, no funds in your hand, it's harder to budget money when you have to wait longer for it. At least I believe so. But if you can get paid every single day, find you a job like that. Second, keep your expenses low. Find you a job that's close to home. Find you a job that's close to home. Now, this line right here is a little tricky as well, because you can find you a job that pays more, but it's further away. But now think about it. That distance that you have to travel to get to and from work. What happens now is you got to put that money towards gas. You got to put that money towards your car. You got to put that money to the side just in case you get a flat tire, just in case you got to change the oil. All these different things. Working as close to home as possible is key. All right. I live 5-10 minutes away from my job, and I ride a bike. I don't have a car. Now, this right here is another thing. You can't be worried about what everybody's saying. You can't be worried about what everybody thinks. Oh, he's walking to work. She's walking to work. Listen, I get people who try to clown me, bro. You a grown man without a car. You're right. I'm a grown man without a car. But what you got to also understand is you're building for something behind the scenes. You're building for a life that eventually you're going to get to branch away from walking. You're going to get to branch away from this 9 to 5. You're going to get to eventually branch away from all these things that everybody else are going to continue to move in. And you got to understand, a lot of people don't understand building towards something. This is why entertainment is so expensive, because majority of people who go and chase this entertainment, go and chase this fun, as soon as the fun is over, they got to come right back to this 9 to 5 lifestyle. Got to come right back to the things that they was running away from, all the bills, all the anxiety, the pressure, the depression, like all these different things. They're coming right back to it as soon as they get off of this entertainment high. Now, flip that a little bit. Go through a year or 2 years of just grinding, a year or 2 years of just staying down, a year or 2 years of just focused on yourself, a year or 2 years of just dialing in, reading, writing, educating yourself, stacking your bread, all these different things. Because what happens is you're going to pop out and you're going to be ahead of the game. That's just how I go. Listen, I got friends that I don't even hang around that much. Who knows what they're thinking? Who knows what these people are feeling because I don't hang around? It is what it is. You locked in, you focused on achieving better. And it's the thing, as you want better for yourself, it's different things in life with success where you're gonna lose a lot of things around you. And that's just what happens. You're gonna lose a lot of things around you. You're gonna lose a lot of things around you. Sometimes you have to take a step back in order to move 10 steps forward. And I learned that. I took away a lot of things that was an expense to me. Okay, going back, I had an apartment, I had a car, and I was still a part of all these social settings. But all this time going in different directions, it cost me so much of my time, it cost me so much of my money, it cost me so much of my resources. And this is like what I learned about centering myself and finding myself. It's okay to miss out. There's nothing out here that you're missing out on. It's all gonna be there. I've been gone for the past 5 years, and I came back. Every single thing that I used to take part in, you're still there. Some of the same people are still there too. And you realize, dang, some people really ain't got it together, but you can't fault them on that. Everybody's on their own journey. But you taking the note, you take in that awareness that I can make this change. It's time to move around. These are all the things that I wish I learned in my 20s, man. And another thing, let's say you got your resources together, you done decreased your expenses, all right? And I'm just giving you options on how to do it. Now, you got a little extra cash left over. If you really want to be successful, if you really want to move into a space where you really don't got to take a break from that lifestyle you really want, follow what successful people do, okay? Successful people have more assets than liabilities. What is an asset? things that can help your life, things that can improve your life. Assets aren't always monetary. You might need a friend in your life. You might need a coach, a mentor. You might need a boyfriend. You might need a girlfriend, a husband, a wife. What is an asset to your life? What things can help you improve? What things can help you grow in your life? Okay. Assets. Liabilities. What things take away from you? If that's all it does is take away from you, make the adjustment. And you got to understand, it doesn't have to be anything drastic or crazy or bad for you to, I'm going to branch myself off from this. Listen, I don't walk away from friends who are good for me. Well, not good for me, but they were good people. I don't walk away from friends like, bro, y'all some cool people, man. It just ain't working. Like, everybody else is gaining, but you're losing. That ain't it. But there's lessons that can be learned. There's valuable lessons that can be learned in all of that. But that's up to you. Follow what successful people do, though. Successful people create assets. What's an asset? YouTube is an asset. Side hustles. A business on the side. Do you invest your bread? Now, no matter who you are or where you are in life, we're all investors. And I'm going to give you some game. We're all investors. Whatever you put your time, your effort, your attention, and money towards is what you're invested in. Okay? How often do you hang around friends? How often do you hang around at this setting? How often do you put money into these different things? And honestly, a lot of us live short term. And what I mean by that is, as soon as we put something into it, we want that return right away. Think about it. Fast food restaurants, as soon as we pay, our bag of food is coming out the window. Entertainment, as soon as we pay, we're entertained right away. And because we don't have that ability to have patience, it's a lot of things we're missing out on. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. When you learn to invest into your life for the long term, there are a lot of things that you're going to miss out on short term. And at first it's rough because all these different feelings and emotions that you got to manage and operate and navigate on, just like life still happens. Different things happen where, let's say you invested some bread, you got some money stacked, you got some things stacked to the side. Different things happen with friends, family, relationships, life, where you may have to pull those resources. Or are you going to stay locked in on that long term? You got to learn how to figure out another way and leave that money be. Leave those investments. Don't even pull from that because you got to stay locked in on the long term. People be like, man, I don't got 5-10 years to wait. Yes, you do. The reason why I say that is because you're going to have to go through the next 5 to 10 years of your life. Think about where you are currently, whatever age you are. 4 or 5 years ago, you wasn't where you are currently. Now imagine if every day, 4 or 5 years ago, every day you took $5-10 and just put it to the side. All the way up until now, how much money would you have put to the side? And then on top of that, did you invest your time into education? Did you invest your time into reading books, writing? Because now you have the knowledge with the monetary, and that's where you win. That's where you win. It's seasons for different things. It's timing. It's timing. But you got to understand that you got to figure out how to keep these expenses low and use that money, use those resources to succeed, to thrive, to prosper. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. If you want to succeed. These are the things I wish I would have knew in my 20s. I'll tell you what happened in my 20s. I was chasing around, wanting to be with friends. I was always wanting to hang around everybody. I was always wanting to be a part of everything. And it's exciting, trust me. I was a kid who grew up that didn't get to do anything. I'm the oldest. I grew up and I wasn't able to do anything. I was always in the house. Only time I did get to have some form of fun or entertainment was because I was hanging around a few of my friends, and we would go and be a part of all these different things and do everything. But because I didn't know myself or understand where I was going in my life, just being a follower, just being everywhere. Hey, we're going over here. Okay, doing this. Okay, okay, okay. And what happened was I was homeless a few times. Let me tell you about that. I've seen a different side of the world where people are a part of everything or are all out in the world, like different things. Listen, there's a bunch of people who can put this image together, whatever it is. They got jewelry, bracelets on, nice earrings. They got the grill, they got the chain, they got the nice outfits and clothes on, and homeless. They live in couch to couch. They hopping home to home. They bouncing back and forth in between different cities, trying to figure it out. And I'm not judging y'all or knocking that at all because I was there myself. Trying to just be a part of everything and you really losing yourself. When you really find yourself, you're going to understand like, yo, it's nothing wrong with sitting on the sideline for a year or two and just getting yourself together. I was that lost. I was lost. Lost. I was lost. In my 20s, I was lost. And this isn't something that happens only in your 20s. You can be lost in your teens. You can be lost in your 30s, your 40s. Life happens for different people at different times. But a few pointers and ideas you can take from this video. Some things that helped me get myself together. I branched off from the city that I grew up in, and I spent 2 years away from everybody, locked in, centered myself, just trying to figure out what is that I want to do with my life. Started working out, reading, writing, no phone, no TV. Social media and TV feed you this negative connotation, this negative stigma, 24/7, all day long, and it just beats your thought process into the ground. I deactivated my social media besides YouTube. I haven't been on social media in a few weeks. It's not healthy for me. It's not good for you. To be looking at that 24/7, center yourself and find yourself. Like life without phones used to be so much easier, and I plan to get back to that one day, but branch off, work out, read, write, meditate, eat the right food. Start like figuring out what it is that you want to do for yourself. And it's never a right setting. It's another thing I wish I would have learned in my 20s. It's never going to be picture perfect starting off. Just go. Just go. Don't worry about everything else. Just go. Whatever idea you got in your head, just get started today. Don't worry about how it looks, because how it looks today isn't how it's going to look 20, 30 years from now. That is if you have that vision or that perception that you can go that long or go that far. I think another thing I learned is in my 20s, everything don't gotta be exciting. Everything don't gotta be fun. Everything doesn't have to be something that makes you feel a certain type of way where, you know what I'm saying, it just feels good. Learn to sit still, learn to be patient, learn to be calm, and learn to wait. And once you start learning how to do that, once you understand less is more, the less stuff you're involved in, the more of this you have, the more of this you can receive, the more of this you'll be able to obtain. Less is more. Less is more. And because you understand less is more, as you decrease all these expenses, your funds should go up. Now, because you have more funds, you can go and live life a little bit longer, a little bit better. And I understand that life. That's why I'm saying, sitting still for a year or two, it ain't hard. Learn to sit still. Sitting still like that gonna take a little while, gonna take a little minute. Learn to sit still for a week. And let me tell you something, it's very hard starting off. But just know, the thing I learned in my 20s is that drastic turning point, that moment, that defining moment in your life is coming for everybody. Where life shifts and you snap out of it. You just wake up and be like, oh, this isn't what I want for myself. Let me go ahead and hustle. Let me go ahead and get myself together. Some people choose to ignore that feeling and still go after what it is they want or whatever they're chasing. That's cool. Different things happen for different people. I know people who are in a certain lifestyle, a certain experience, a vibe, and it works for them, it fits them, and then it snaps into place and they finally got themselves together. It don't work like that for everybody. It didn't work like that for me. But these are a few of the things I wish I would have learned in my 20s. Quiet Minds YouTube channel. Learn how to get yourself together and you can have some bread. You can get you some bread. You can get you some resources, all right? It didn't confetti fall like I expected it to, but Quiet Minds YouTube channel. Are you focused on pushing towards a goal or a dream? How would you describe your everyday life? How do you deal with hardships and adversity when trying to keep the motivation towards your dream? How do you think and how would you evaluate yourself? What is your perspective on the choices and the decisions that you have made in your life? Based on your habits, how has life been guiding you and where has your life been taking you? If you don't understand the things that I'm asking, maybe it's time to look in the mirror and ask yourself, self, do you know who you are? If not, watch a few videos, take a look at Quiet Minds YouTube channel. These are some of the things that we talk about on this YouTube channel. We talk about how to stay focused, how to evaluate everyday life, how to look in your past to help you see where you're going. For those of you who don't know, the things that you have done in your past led you to where you are right now. Once you make the changes about your life begins to change.